We're recording now. You're on, Shari.
Okay.
We're starting. Okay.
Welcome, Purium family. This is Shari Hess. I'm talking to you live from Orlando, Florida. I'm part of the Purium family, and I'm honored today. I've been asked by Lucy and Michael Mazes to interview 4 amazing transformers. These are 4 amazing individuals that came across our Purium products. They all took the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Challenge. They had amazing results in every aspect of their life. And I'm here to pick their brain today. I'm here to find out what nuggets of health and wealth they discovered along the way. And I'm honored because these are amazing people that have done amazing things even prior to finding Purium. And we're just going to find out how taking control of their health kind of transcends every area of their life. So before we get started, I want to give you the definition of transformation. It's very, very simple. It's the definition of transformation is a permanent, lasting change. So I want everybody on the call today to ask themselves, are there some changes you'd like to make in your life that are permanent and lasting? And where would be a good place to start? In the days that we're living in, none of us really feel like we have control of much anymore. But let me tell you, there is one thing you can take control of, and that is your health. And folks, without your health, you have no freedom. You have no freedom without your health. So these people are going to share with us today the freedom that they have acquired by taking control of their health. So let me just say really quick, I'm going to skim over my transformation quickly because they have so much I want to learn and I want to hear from them. But on this Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, I lost 45 pounds. And I took my first Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation 3 years ago. I had gained a significant amount of weight after a very serious back surgery, just due to being inactive and kind of due to being afraid that I could blow out my back again. So things weren't working right from all of the pain meds I had taken. The pain meds had actually destroyed my gut. So therefore, my metabolism, my digestion, and my elimination was all affected. When your gut's screwed up, nothing really works right in your body. So thank God I met somebody in Purium, and they showed me this transformation that could change my life. And I lost 45 pounds in 4 months. And I got back to my pre-surgery weight. And since then, I've taken my health back. I've taken control of my health. So I've been a part of the Purium family for 3 years now. I take the products every day. They've become a lifestyle. Thus the name, Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. So when you want lasting, permanent changes, you need a lifestyle transformation. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So on the screen, you probably see a myriad of products. This program basically is 5 important products. We have a gut healthy product called Biomedic, which again helped me to heal my gut. And that's where your immune system, that's where your health starts. Then we have super amino acids, super amino 23. That's what helped me to drop the weight. I also work in the beauty industry, and let me tell you, without the proper amount of protein, your collagen goes to hell in a handbasket quite quickly. And there's no topical cream that's going to save your life. So I'm a firm believer of building beauty from the inside out, and our super aminos, our vegan protein, will offer you those building blocks. It satisfies the body so that your body can drop the fat. And then of course, our power shake. It's a super dense superfood that alkalizes the body. It energizes the cells. It purifies the blood. I'm telling you, I was able to go off coffee because of this one product alone. It gave me the energy and the vitality that we normally run to coffee for. And then for better sleep, as we know, the body repairs itself at night. So many of us are stressed out because of the times we're living in. Our melatonin levels are low. So we take apothecary, and apothecary improves our sleep. It helps fight free radical damage, which is also excellent for aging. It can help beautify the skin because it's loaded with an ORAC value of 7,000 plus. It's very hard to find that in any food. It's very hard to find that in any nutritional product. And it also decreases inflammation, which most disease comes from inflammation. And then lastly is our super cleanser R, and that's going to help you flush parasites. It's going to help you increase your elimination, because we're not just eliminating fat cells, we're eliminating toxins. And this product's going to help you release those toxins. So these are the 5 heavy hitters in this pack. And without further ado, I want to introduce to you our first transformer. His name is Beau. He is a professional social media networker. He's also a media influencer. He coaches, he speaks, and he's a content creator. And one of Beau's favorite mottos is get paid for the things you pay for. So Beau, can you elaborate on that motto that you live by? You get paid for the things you pay for. Welcome, Beau.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me go first, because I'm extremely humbled by the other people on this panel, and it would be very difficult to follow up some of the people here. So thank you for that. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in getting paid for the things you pay for a couple of reasons. But primarily, when you understand the value that it takes to put your hand in your pocket and give someone your money, that value is the highest level of value. It's the only time you'll ever give someone your money, right? And so if you are able to do that and you know what that takes, then you can articulate that to somebody else, and you're most likely able to sell something like that. On top of that, when you pay for the things you pay for, or if you get paid for the things you pay for, even if you don't make any money in your business, you're still likely to get better prices on the things you're buying, because you're most likely buying them wholesale, and you're getting tax write-offs for the lifestyle things that you do, right? So just by living your life, it's a business, right? So I'm a big fan of that. And I'm also a big fan of just people pursuing their passions in life, and just living their life and being compensated for that. People walk around every day with logos on their clothes, on their products, on their coffee cups, advertising for companies, and they don't get compensated for the infinite echo of their influence. And so it's really important to me, and I love just watching people get paid for things they love. I have a friend who gets paid $10,000 to $20,000 a month to play video games. Ever since I got involved in Purium, I brag to everyone that I get paid to eat. I got a vacuum recently. that is allowing me to get paid to vacuum. I just find it really funny and interesting, and so I love to share that with people.
Thank you, Beau. Now tell us how the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation actually changed your life, and then obviously, I hear everything that you're saying, because originally when I came across the products, I just wanted them for myself, selfishly. But being in the beauty industry, I knew that every single one of my clients needed this. So how easy? I didn't have to really do much. I just said, hey, do you want to get to the root of all your skincare issues? Let me prescribe some products. And honestly, I'm quite honest with my clients. I say, if it comes down to finances and you got a debate on purchasing the cream or the power shake, you're going to get more long-lasting results from the power shake than this cream. And that's my industry. So tell us how this ultimate lifestyle transformation changed your life health-wise and mentally and everything?
The main thing with me was, you know, I had a lot of bad habits in my life, and you know, I'm still not perfect, but when I would wake up in the morning, you know, I would be tired and groggy and, you know, not feeling well. And waking up in the morning and having to go downstairs and even just like cook a basic meal was really intimidating, I guess I should say. Like it was just, it felt exhausting to even think about that. And oftentimes what would happen is I just wouldn't eat breakfast because I was feeling sick from the night before. And I just didn't want to like do anything or cook anything. So I would maybe, it would probably come about to like 1 to 3 o'clock before I'd actually start to get starving enough to actually want to eat. And then when I would eat, I'd be so hungry that I would be purchasing like impulsively. I'd be buying, you know, junk foods and things that weren't good for me just to get something in my body. And then I'd be catching up nutrient wise like late at night, so then I'd be eating at like, you know, 11 or 12 o'clock at night, sometimes 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And then by that time the cycle began again, where I'd wake up not rested because I ate too late, and you know, my digestion system was going all night long, and the cycle would continue like that. And for me, you know, I really was in a, when I first was introduced to Purium, I was in a place where like I was like just back from Brazil, living in Canada, and I had nothing going on. I had no money. I had, you know, like very little going on health wise. And I literally went on Instagram and asked my friend, or asked my Instagram friends if I could have $500. And I said, hey, like, look, I'm looking for $500. That's kind of around the conversion of what it comes out to in Canadian for the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And one of my friends said, what do you need it for? And I just said, like, I'm looking to get my health back on track. And I swear it was like an angel came down, and he literally sent me $500 to my email. And I was like, what do you want for it? And he said, nothing, man, just good luck, you know? And that's how I knew that this was guided by something else, you know, that I was meant to try this. And when I started trying it, it was, for me, it was the fact that it was so easy to do and so easy to implement into my life, right? So I would have like a shake in the morning, and I didn't have to do any dishes. My washing the cup would be just me rinsing it out. And I could do that in the bathroom, like on the way back from the bathroom in the morning. I rinsed out the cup, I filled it with water, and I had, if you guys can see in the background, I have my little water thing there. So I had that in my room, and having that in my room, sometimes I just literally didn't even have to get out of bed to make my power shake. And so I like to call it breakfast in bed. It's my it's my favorite thing. But what it did was it didn't change my life overnight, but over time is when it started to happen, because having that shake first thing in the morning with no excuses, that was just put water in it and shake it. I mean, like, God, it's faster than instant oatmeal because I don't have to boil the water or do any dishes, right? So having that process, what it did was it created the habit of first thing in the morning every day, that the first thing I do and the foundation that the rest of my day rests upon is me doing something that is good for me and that is loving myself and that is positive. And once I started doing that, it wasn't overnight, like I said, but over time, as things were shifting, I started noticing all my bad habits one by one slowly drift away. And it wasn't like I was trying to do anything or trying to stop it. It's just that I didn't feel the need to hurt myself or cause damage to myself, because I loved myself, knowing that every single morning, the first thing I did was an act of self-love. And
can I stop you right there, because you've said some powerful things that I just want to recap on.
Sure.
Number one, you made a decision that you wanted change in your life, and I commend you for putting it out there. He did not let the lack of finances stop him. He was Beau was bold. He put it out there. He said, hey, I'm looking for $500, and the answer came. I was on that same path after my back surgery. You know, I needed the next step to my healing, and it was a cleanse. So I love how the universe provided for you the means to continue your journey. And then I also love the breakfast in bed and loving yourself enough to, I mean, really that's our biggest challenge in the morning, is running out and having enough time to do something good for ourselves. So I heard that when you feed the microbiome the right proper nutrients that feed your good bacteria, those bacteria are alive and they talk to the body all day long. So you are actually setting in motion your cravings to, as you said, have a successful rest of the day, so that by 5 or 6 o'clock at night, you're not just grabbing the junk food. So I think you're the perfect person to start off with, because you're starting with a product that impacted you, the Power Shake, correct? At the beginning of the day. So this is how, if your time is short, you know, the days of juicing are hard for anyone. I mean, you gotta, you know, factor in an hour and a half to cut your vegetables, go buy them all. 2 scoops in purified water. As Beau said, you're shaking your shaker bottle and you're off to the races with high energy without spending all that extra money at Starbucks. So I love that, Beau. And I love your philosophy on, you know, you might as well get paid for what you pay for. And I also respect that, because you have to be a product of the product. In my industry, in the beauty industry, if I don't have good skin, no one's going to trust my protocols. They're going to say, talk to the hand, you know, you're not someone I want to follow. So you must be a product of the product if you want to have influence with others. So you said some key things, my friend, and I thank you for coming on. I'm going to move to our next transformer, Marcelo Pena. Did I say your name correct, Marcelo?
Almost.
Please.
Marcela is the female version, but it's all good. I'll take it.
I chopped it up. I'm so sorry.
It's beautiful.
Welcome, Marcelo. Marcelo is a certified kidney health and wellness coach. Marcelo has been a thriving survivor of end-stage renal disease. He's been on dialysis for more than 21 years. And this transformer, this survivor, is still with us today. And he had a list so long of surgeries that the man has had, that he's lived through. It was so long, I said, Marcelo, you're going to have to take over, because I couldn't even pronounce some of the things that he's been through. Yeah. So Marcelo, as quickly as you can, not to undermine what you've been through, let us know everything that you've come through, and then bring us to that place where you met up with Purium and how Purium helped further you in your journey.
Absolutely. So to give you some backstory of what I've been through, in 2000, kidney transplant, peritoneal dialysis, about a few months after that, because the kidney didn't work. I was on that for 3 years. After that, hemodialysis, that's blood dialysis that has to get filtered through a machine. Been doing that for 18 years. Parathyroid removal. So I have a scar here on my neck. They had to take my parathyroid out, piece of it, much of it. After that, kidney. Okay, so I had to have my kidney transplant removed because it was a dead organ that was living in my body. And that honestly almost killed me. That happened in 2007. I had high potassium levels. That's very dangerous. If anybody knows about that, high potassium levels is very deadly. You know, honestly, that's what they give. That's a lethal injection that they give to prisoners when they're, you know, on death row and they're about to kill them. That's one of the injections.
Wow.
Multiple endoscopies, colonoscopies, cystoscopies, which are very painful. Gut infections from C. diff, colitis, diverticulitis. I mean, it got so bad. My gut got so bad that it was killing me. I was in and out the hospital just all the time, that I actually have to had a fecal transplant, you know what I mean, to make me normal. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy. In the midst of all that, antibiotics, just pain medicines, like crazy. IV narcotics, Dilaudid, heroin. I mean, just everything, synthetic heroines, multiple blood transfusions. There's so much stuff. So in 2019, because of antibiotics and just pain medicines getting pumped, because that's how the Western medical system works. You know what I mean? The gut just had enough, and honestly, my diet wasn't that good. I didn't really know about glyphosate and, heavy metals, how they get stuck in the gut and they just destroy it over time. So on my mother's birthday in 2019, on June 11th, I'm at the beach. I haven't been to the beach in like eight years. Boom, my intestines perforated. They blew up inside of me. They blew up inside of me, and that was the most painful. I mean, I had just got out of the hospital just a few months before that. You know what I mean? And I was trying not to have to go through this because they wanted to give me an ostomy bag. I'm already dealing with dialysis for the rest of my life. And the ostomy bag is basically having a diaper that you have to wear. I didn't want to do that, so it wasn't in my control. My intestines blew up, and the doctors are even looking at me like, "How are you still alive? Most people don't survive this." They're telling me that they're sorry that I'm going through all this pain. They couldn't find IVs, and boom. Anyways, went through the surgery. I get out on the other side with the ostomy bag now. The thing that I didn't want, like what Lucy was talking about earlier today, I didn't want it, and now I had to live life like this for 3 months while my intestines healed enough so they could repair it. And I mean, I knew about diet and I knew the importance of food and just taking care of yourself, how much that is. And when you just work on yourself, you can really just change the narrative of your story. So I was still on the mission, even though I was in recovery. I was still trying to do breath work. I was still doing my smoothies with spirulina and cordyceps. I would add my powders, but I was always on the search for something better and something new. And like a God said, like Beau said, I literally said, "Well, how can I just take this to another level? God, please help me. Please help me. I have a good heart. I'm trying." And then boom, I follow a lot of interesting people. Rob Earth, Architect Goddess, Bitman Buddha, you know what I mean? Whole Health Connections, amazing people. And then I just saw a post for someone that was offering the ULT. And then I looked it up and I saw the ingredients. I'm like, this is amazing ingredients. These are superfoods, all organic, best of the best. So I didn't know much about anything else. I just knew this. I didn't even know that there was a whole community behind it. So boom, I just went towards that. And then I jumped and I did not look back. And I'm telling you, on the third, fourth day, I'm over here giggling like a little schoolgirl because of just how it made me feel, where I was at and where I'm at now and where I'm going. You know what I mean? It's like I have energy. I have this energy because the importance of food, like source, you can connect with God. That's source energy. You know what I mean? And I just have it. I'm like a little kid again, and I'm happy now. I really am. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at, and I'm forever grateful because the biomedic is repairing my gut after it was destroyed for so many years. You know what I'm saying? With all these medications. So the biomedic and then just repairing it with all the nutrients and minerals that the liquid sunshine has. And then on top of that, how can you ask for that's already enough? But then you have super amino 23s. And for somebody like me, that's a kidney dialysis patient, the super aminos don't have to get filtered through the kidneys. They go straight into the bloodstream. So for days that I do treatment, like later on today, I have to do dialysis. Sometimes you don't feel good. You don't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But the days that I don't feel good and I don't really want to eat such heavy food, low frequency food, look at what I have. I have the most convenient superfoods on the earth, and they're mine.
I love now you heard Marcelo say liquid sunshine. That's what we all kind of have nicknamed the power shake because it is liquid sunshine. I've also heard some people say, they drink their salads now in their shaker bottle. But you also mentioned, Marcelo, high vibrational foods because of the nutrient density. And we do have live enzymes in these foods, which are chemical free. It does raise the vibration and the healing processes in your body because of the nutritional density in the shake. So Beau put something interesting in the chat that I picked up that and it's very profound because when you take responsibility for your own health and you have your story that are going to inspire others, you then can lead a group transformation and you can impact, multiple people at once with your story alone. And so also the sense of community, you know, those people that you were following, Marcelo, have you become good friends with them? Have you made friends within the Purium community? And how has that sense of community impacted your life and your journey?
Man, I love this so much. I joined the business. Man. And
Okay.
I have all those people that I mentioned. They're my uplines, you know, and I actually have their phone numbers. If I have questions, I can actually contact them and they reply. You know, they actually reply. It's not just about, you know, trying to make money and income. I mean, we do believe in financial health, you know, and we're all just striving, helping each other with the same mission in mind, with love and you know what I mean? It's the products are one thing, but the community is just it's like equal, man. It's just it complements each other so beautifully. And I am just so in love with this lifestyle because it is a lifestyle. The ultimate lifestyle transformation is what it is. It's what it is. See, I got my liquid sunshine right here.
Shake it, baby.
Yes.
I want everybody to give Marcelo a round of applause because he's a fighter. He's a transformer.
Thank you.
He's with us today. He's overcome so much, and he's going straight forward. He's probably got goals set out for 2021. All of us made it through 2020, thank God. And literally, we have no other choice but to go forward. So I commend all of you. Thank you so much, Marcelo, for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Now, we have another gentleman. When I read his bio, and I've heard him on a call before, I was so inspired by his story. He's done so much in his life, but the thing that tickled me the most about his little bio was he said he's starting his life at the sweet tender age of 46. So Shiva, welcome to the call today. And you can expound on that, but first I'm going to brag on him a little bit. Shiva he's a 25-year veteran in the music industry. He's an expertise at artist development. So he specializes in peak performance. He coaches musicians, actors, authors, novelists, screenwriters. So basically he has operated in a very influential circle. He's been mentored by legendary producer Rick Rubin and Nirvana's manager Danny Goldberg. Both of these two heavy hitters have mentored Shiva personally. Shiva has helped to develop the Dave Matthews Band. Am I saying it right? The Yayas?
Well, a member of the Dave Matthews Band. I did not develop the Dave Matthews Band, but a very important member of the Dave Matthews Band I personally coached.
Okay.
And the band, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, the lead musical inspiration of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs as well. You know, so not the whole band. Those are some of the biggest bands in their genre. So I don't want to mislead anybody, but I've worked very closely with some of the key members of those outfits, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs and the Dave Matthews Band. That's true.
Thank you. I'm sure my son knows all of these people because he's a musician, so he would, I'm sure, totally be wowed by just your resume. The Beastie Boys, the Strokes. He's worked with these artists, and he's also a student of Tony Robbins. So he's into personal development, and also the neurolinguistics programming pioneer, Dr. Wyatt Woodsmall. And
Dr. Woodsmall was one of the earliest teachers of Tony Robbins. And if you look in Tony Robbins' first book, Unlimited Power, there's a special acknowledgement of Dr. Wyatt Woodsmall. I think he might have been the first certified master NLP teacher. And I studied with him very, very in depth. Tony,
I love that because I'm a lover of neurolinguistics and reprogramming the brain and the neural pathways. And so I'm sure you have a lot in personal development that you can bring to the table, but let's get back to starting your life over at 46. Explain to us, because you crossed paths with the founder of our company, David Sandoval. And so you worked with all these amazing people in your past. but then you also got to work with the founder of this company and these wonderful products, and he personally helped you get through your first transformation, correct?
Absolutely correct. And thank you, Shari. You're just amazing at what you do. I mean, my hat's off to you, and I'm sure I speak for everyone on the panel as well. And you're really doing an extraordinary job in a tough situation this morning. These are not easy, these Zoom calls and webinars. So thank you, Shari.
Well,
and
thank you. I love learning and I love being around positive people. So I'm just like a sponge today. So please take over. Tell us how you started your life over at 46.
Well, likewise, very much. I'm fine to just not talk and listen to. I mean, I'm overcome with emotion, overwhelmed, listening to Marcelo and Beau. It's deeply affecting. In fact, I can't focus on it, otherwise I won't be able to talk with a lump in my throat. The respect I have for these two gentlemen, and it's very moving, and it reminds me why I'm here and hearing your story, Shari. Because this is our life. This is not a game. This is not performance. This is not fashion. This is our life. And it's not just our life, but there are people in each of our life who love us, who rely on us, who depend on us to be here. And so much has been, if we ended the call right now, we all would walk away with just pure treasure of learning and priorities, right? That without health, what do we have? And so, you know, I want to speak with everyone who share from my heart, everyone who's here on the line, but to the many that are going to hear this and receive this after the fact. And I want to talk to one particular soul who I don't know who they are, but I know they're out there. And it's January 9th, and it's a brand new year, 2021. And for this soul, nothing has changed yet. And so my question to them is, what's going to change this year? What
Good
is going
question.
to change this year? What's going to be different this year that didn't happen in 2020? And for me, I'll ask myself that question. You could ask that of me, and I'll have a very direct answer. This year, I'm going to be under 200 pounds. Now, why is that a significant thing that will have changed for myself? Well, Shari, the last time I was under 200 pounds, I was 17 years old. I was 17 years old the last time I got on a scale and it said a number under 200 pounds. I'm 46 now. That's a long time. I would say at least 20 years of my life, I've been well over 300 pounds. In 2019, I was as high as 355 pounds. And then my height is 5'6", on a good day, 5'6.5". And so you could do the math for those who know numbers on scales and heights and weights. That's a lot of weight to carry for somebody of my height and my age. And it's a long time to carry it. So I've been in a prison for 20 years. So I really identify with that movie. It's a very classic, loved movie. And I'm one of those millions around the globe who love it, The Shawshank Redemption. It's a movie about a prison break. And I really feel like this is my entry into freedom. So when I say I'm starting my life at 46, I'm starting a life in freedom after being in prison for many, many, many years, for much of my life. Now, before I was in prison with the fat around my body, I was imprisoned by food addiction. And so I want to talk to the many people as well who are watching, who suffer from food addiction, who might not have 100+ pounds on them. A lot of them appear to be normal, but they suffer with obsession of craving and a demon and a monkey on their back that's just relentless and unrelenting, haunting, a ghoul. And they live their lives every day like that. So I've lived my life every day with that demon since I was around 6 years old. So 40 years, it's a long time to be dealing with this stuff. So Purium has been an answered prayer in my life, and I don't want to take up too much time. We could, share more at another time. I mean, the before and after pictures will be very dramatic, certainly later in this year. I mean, dramatic in a certain way now, but it will get a lot more attention as the year goes on. And so this is what's happening to me this year. And I invite everybody to reference this call again. It'll be available on the Facebook and the YouTube. And you're going to see me under 200 pounds in real time for the first time since I was 17. And I'm going to achieve a lifelong dream of surfing for the first time. You know, I live in California, but I've never been able to surf. And I'm going to go surfing this summer for the first time because I'll be in the physical shape where it's safe for me to go surfing and I can really enjoy it. And something I've always wanted to do. And so just very briefly, my story, I, like many people last year who carried over 100 pounds, were very, very terrified about the news and the reports of the pandemic, in addition to what everyone else is suffering. I mean, if most people noticed that most of the news reports included that if you were, you know, morbidly obese, which is, I guess, the medical term for what I had suffered with and suffering with, were in extra danger on times like these. It's not enough to just carry all this stuff normally. It's a living hell. I don't have to tell anybody about that, you know, who suffers with this. It's a living hell. But then in addition, we got this global pandemic where at any moment, if you're watching the news, you know, the messaging is you're in real trouble if you're carrying this extra weight. So I declared on Facebook that I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to get this handled right now. And I tried a lot of stuff. I've tried raw veganism. I've tried veganism. I've tried vegetarianism. And then most recently, before Purium found me, I swung entirely in the other direction and was practicing a carnivore way of eating, which is an all meat diet, or primarily all meat diet. Now, I tried that because a friend of mine had found a lot of success for themselves with it. But, and there were certain benefits to it, but it didn't get the weight off. Okay, it did not get the weight off, and that was the one thing I needed to do. It also was kind of not so in tune with my yogic spiritual beliefs. A lot of people know me in the yoga community, and you know, an all meat diet is not really the yogi way. Okay, so but I didn't care. I just had one objective: to get the weight off. So I moved to Ojai, California, outside of an hour and a half outside of Los Angeles in Ventura County, and a friend of my father, a guy named Ray Simmons, who also travels in my spiritual circles of yoga and meditation. He came up, shortly after I moved into my apartment, he comes over and brings a box of a ULT, an ultimate lifestyle transformation. And just picture a 58-year-old surfer dude, who's in great shape, by the way, but talks like Matthew McConaughey. I want to give you the whole picture. And he comes into my apartment and says, "Brother man, I want to give you this gift of an ultimate lifestyle transformation." And like you, Shari, that's a very important word, lifestyle. Thank you for sharing on that. Totally right on. Brother man, I want to give you this ultimate lifestyle transformation. And these are, I'm sorry, you guys. Brother man, I want you to have a superfood experience. And you're going to put these organic, non-GMO, delicious superfoods into your body, organic superfoods into your body, and you are going to become a lean, green, fat burning machine, muscle building, fat burning machine, okay? And you're going to put these superfoods into your body, and in 30 days, Dave Sandoval is going to guide you through a 10-day transformation. And he's looking at me like, isn't that great? Like, isn't that the greatest news I've ever told somebody that you've ever heard? And I'm thinking, what, Shari? Who the heck is this Dave Sandoval guy? My man Ray Simmons, you know, doesn't know that I have a fridge and freezer full of grass-fed meat and burgers, you know, the likes of which would get me, you know, killed at the vegan convention, if you will. But the last thing I was thinking was organic green superfoods. And there's also propaganda by the medical community in the carnivore community. There's some medical doctors who have the science that they've propagandized that plants are bad for you, that they have this thing called plant toxins and that they don't want to be eaten. So I had all this in my head. So what am I thinking? Like, no way, bro, get the heck out of my apartment. I know my father, you're a friend of his, and he says you're a good guy, but I want you to surf on out of my apartment is what I'm thinking. Okay. But he did look good. I'll tell you that. Just like you said, he was a product of the product. He's a really good looking guy in terms of shape and skin, vibrant skin and glowing. And so I said, okay. And he goes, but then I saw Purium and I thought, oh, this is that Troy Casey certified health nut liquid sunshine stuff I've been seeing all over Instagram. And Troy's
Word gets around, right?
yeah, Troy has been a friendly acquaintance of mine for over 15 years. And the guy's got nothing but credibility with me in terms of nobody's researched health products that I've ever seen more than him. And he's been, for years now, Purium. I'm like, oh, this is that liquid sunshine stuff. So Ray goes, brother man, here, and he takes out this little shaker jar that he brought himself, and it was about 6 ounces of space and 2 ounces. So 1 scoop, not even a whole shake, but a scoop of power shake, plus 4 ounces of water. And he shook that up and he gave that to me. He goes, taste that. And I taste it. And Shari, I'm like, dude, that's really good. He's like, bro, I know. I'm like, dude, no, that's really good. He's like, and we were just, my life, Shari, just changed the second I put that taste of liquid sunshine into my body, and I knew something was different here. So I wound up going to hang out with Dave Sandoval for, we'll tell the story another time. I don't want to take up too much more time here, but there's a lot of great stories in this story. And I hung out with Dave Sandoval for 10 days, and he gave me the map to freedom. And he showed me how to use the ultimate lifestyle transformation for accelerated results. Now, I want to reiterate this. Everything he shared with me, he shares with the Facebook group that is accessible to any single person who's in Purium. So it wasn't exclusive to me. What I did have was the guy got my attention, and I took the coordinates of the map. I took the medicine, as it were. I followed the direction because I knew that I was home. There's something told me that this was the road to freedom. And so after 10 days of doing an ultimate lifestyle transformation immersion that everybody here has access to, right? I dropped 17 pounds on the scale and 5 inches off my waistline. I never got those results anywhere in my life. And I just, in closing, really want to reiterate the best thing that happened, which was much more than the weight, and the reduction of inflammation, which was very significant. And my skin tightened, like he told me. I thought he was crazy. He told me that my body was going to start manufacturing its own collagen. I thought this was madness. Like, there's no way that's going to happen from this, because I, like many other people, have taken so many collagen supplements that I've overpaid for and that are popular in the market, and they've never worked like this. Sure enough, when I got home and I shaved my face, and so my after picture is my first time I had a shaved face in 10 years, because I love beards. And Beau's got a great looking beard on him, and I'm gonna probably grow a beard back myself one day. But the reason why I had a beard was not okay, Shari. I had a beard because I was hiding. I didn't want you to see me, and I didn't want to see myself. So I shaved my face for the first time in 10 years. And sure enough, Shari, I looked like I did back in high school. And all these girls on Facebook were messaging me that I went to high school with 25 or so years ago. And they said, you look like you did in high school. How did that happen? What did you do? And it was the 10-day. But the biggest thing in closing that happened to me, and I want to just talk to this one person who's watching. I don't know who you are, but I know you're hearing me. My food addiction got taken out. It got snuffed. It got muted. I don't know where it went. I don't care. I ain't looking for it again. But I've lived a life since day 3 of that 10-day. So this was in early November, before Thanksgiving. So now it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, into New Year's. I live a life in freedom without food addiction. Food does not run my day anymore. I don't look at pizza places, Chinese food restaurants, desserts, crap. I don't even talk in terms of cheat meals. I don't even use that vernacular. I just use it because I know people are understanding what I mean when I say that. There's been none of that because I haven't desired it. Because whatever
I feel like you said something key. You said the very first shake that you tried, you felt something amazing. And I had that same experience. I was actually at a beauty convention, and my Purium upline had a booth, and I'd actually seen them at the shows like for 2 years. And I went over and said, I'll know in the first taste. And what I tasted, and you probably experienced too, are those live enzymes. because I
Yes.
used to be a juicer. And when I tasted it, it was like alive. It was like this zip of energy. So my upline was really smart. They said to me, hey, I'll fill you up with green drinks the whole day. And because he knew the product speaks for itself. So it was the first convention I worked all day, 10 hours a day at the booth, drinking greens versus coffee.
Yeah.
So when you feed the body what it needs, those cravings do go, your taste buds alter and shift, because the body's satisfied. Thank God for once, you know.
Absolutely. I wanted to add to that. Something is very important, I feel, to communicate to everyone we talk to about Purium. And I'm now active in the business as a result of my change, because this is too good I can't keep this to myself. Even if I tried, I couldn't keep this to myself.
Right.
What we have here is not only nutritious, Shari, it's delicious. And I always emphasize how delicious it is. And why do I do that? Because compliance is the science. I take my Purium products because it's pleasurable for me to do that. And speaking as a guy who suffered from food addiction for 40 years, it's an important thing that I communicate to people that I'm bringing onto the program. This is something that you can comply with and do, and that's another reason why it works. Yes, it's so good for you. The ingredients are so pure and the highest integrity of assimilation and purity, and what you're getting is the real thing, uncompromised, and it's delicious. So
yes,
and everything else you've said, but I do want to, before we go, Dave Sandoval, for those who never got to meet him or haven't met him yet, he looks fantastic. This is a guy much better, or more so rather, much more so, in my opinion, than in the videos, that the live streams. When you meet this guy in person, he's bursting with vitality. He's a force of nature. He is a guy that you would say, hey man, what are you doing? Like, I want some of that. So I do want to share that. And with Michael and Lucy Mazes, Lucy and Michael are the lights in the lighthouse. And another time I'll tell more about that, but they are our guardian angels. And they have a loyal friend in me for life, for their generosity and their kindness shining on us all. So thank you for including me in these extraordinary heroes testimonials, and we'll continue our dialogue another time. And thank you, Shari, for being just such a radiant conduit of conversation and energy and joy.
Thank you. Yeah, gentlemen, thank you so much for your stories. Thank you for bringing your light to this call. I feel enlightened, and I couldn't agree with you more. I've made some of the best friends that I know I'll have for a lifetime within the Purium family. So I feel exactly the same way you do. They're friends for life. You kind of feel like you're home, and it's a lifestyle.
Shari, can I say one more thing that I can't, because the holidays were still in that holiday afterglow. I went to visit my mother, who lives in upstate New York, for the holidays, and we're very close with. And big part of my why here, right? We got to find her why. She's a big why for me. One, when I got on the plane for the first time in many years, I did not have to wear a seatbelt extension to get on the plane. So my butt fit in the seat, but my stomach never did without a seatbelt extension. And of course, I don't even have to elaborate on what that's been like. But this, for the first time in years, since doing my ultimate lifestyle transformation, I was able to get on the plane, no seatbelt extension, no problem. I can't say it was loose, but it was not a problem to put that seatbelt on. Okay?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, I was able to give my mother a hug, and she wrapped her arms around me. And you know what she said, Shari, after she did that? She said, this is the first time in so long I've been able to wrap my arms around you. This is my mother. My mother was able to hug me for the first time in years. And so that's what we're offering here.
Right.
This is true transformation. You open the call with, what is transformation? This is transformation. And this is why the music business, I'm not, all those accolades, they're in the past of 25 years. I'm not inspired by the business of music anymore. I am most inspired by the business of the Purium economy and sharing these truly life transforming superfoods. So thank you for letting me include that in closing.
You're welcome. And before I introduce our last guest, Jajy, I had the pleasure of interviewing her before, so I can relate to the seatbelt, because in my transformation, I lost 45 pounds. I went down sizes, but Jajy, this next superwoman I'm about to introduce, we both said the amazing feeling that it was to get smaller underwear. So like, you know, we each have our things that empower us, but she said, we just had this funny call one day and she just said, Shari, I had to even replace all my undergarments. I said, I know that feeling. It's amazing. So without further ado, and thank you, Shiva, bless you for your story. Can't wait to get to know all of you more. Open with us and vulnerable. Now, she's in the category of superwoman to me, and here's why. When I met this precious soul, her husband was fighting for his life. They both incurred as a family a super tragic event, and she was a mother. She became instantly a single mother of 3, all children. Jajy, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think all children under the age of, I want to say 7. And I have 3 children that are much older now.
At the time.
And I was a single mom for a very. You're on, Jajy?
Yes, you hear me?
Jajy? Okay.
Do you guys
3
hear
children
me?
under the age of what?
At the moment, they were
Yes,
at the
we
under
hear
the
you.
age of 9.
Okay, so that's no easy feat, people. It's just no easy feat. So she's caring for her husband in the hospital every day, fighting for his life, because as you know, if you're in the hospital, you need an advocate. So she had to stay on top of his health care 100%. I believe he lived as long as he did due to Jacky's intervention. And she's trying to manage her family. And, you know, when you're serving others, it's very easy to put yourself last. Like Shiva, even when you were telling me your story and all the accolades and accomplishments, I feel just from hearing you are developing other people and putting your own health on the back burner. How easy is that to do? Because you weren't just killing time, you were making things happen. You obviously were successful, but you didn't love yourself enough to put yourself first. So here's why Jajy has my ultimate respect. She was wise enough to know right in the middle of crisis that if I don't put the oxygen mask on myself, my kids might not have any parents, because they say that, you know, if you're caring for someone that's handicapped, or you're the caretaker of someone, your immune system is actually compromised by 75%. So Jajy, due to eating all the hospital foods and whatnot, she was, I'm going to let her say exactly how overweight she was at the time, but she knew at this critical turning point that if she did not take care of her health, her kids might be without both parents. So she embarked in the middle of this chaos on an ultimate lifestyle transformation. It actually started off with a spiritual cleanse for her husband. She was praying to God. I believe God brought her answers during that 21-day cleanse. Her and her mom did it together. And she said for the first time at the end of that 21-day cleanse that the light bulb went off, and she said, I'm never turning back. So everyone, I want you to meet Jajy. She's a superwoman. Jajy, take it from that moment and tell the team what you've accomplished and how you got there from where I'm leaving off.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Shari.
You're welcome.
And I'm from Miami. The reason why I started Purium, actually, it's so funny because 2 years ago, That's when pretty much everything started for me as far as cleansing. And exactly 2 years ago, because tomorrow I'm gonna start the fasting again with the church for the second time. And
Right.
the first time I did it, I've never done a fasting before. I've never done anything. My mom is a Christian. So she told me, and Ma was very delicate in the hospital. So I said, I'm gonna do it for him. And the fasting consisted of pretty much becoming vegan and sacrificing maybe a couple of other things if you would like to sacrifice during those 21 days. So I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't go out or like 8 hour things like that of that sort. And I kind of like meditated and just included myself just every day in the hospital. And I would go to the beach every day in the morning. I would go by the water and meditate. And I did that for 3 weeks, and I became vegan from like, overnight. And it was not harsh. I thought it was gonna be harsher. But I decided that every time I would go somewhere to eat or I had to put something in my mouth, it would have to be vegan. Otherwise, it was not gonna happen. So that mentality I created, and I was able to complete my cleanse. My mother was in awe with how diligent I was with this and how disciplined I was. And after the 21 days, I told her that I was gonna continue. That I was gonna continue because I've never felt so like great in my life. It was like you said, like a light bulb went out, and I just felt alive. I just felt an incredible amount of energy, and it's just different. It's just you're in a different vibration. You're in a higher vibration. So that's why, even though I was going through such a tragic time and seeing, my husband the way that he was, the condition, the hospital situation, my kids, everything, I was able to thrive based on my faith and wanting to change. I find Purium through Angie, and I find Angie right before I start my fasting, and she introduced me to Purium in March. And when I started Purium, it was amazing. The way I felt, like being introduced to superfoods like that, it was a game changer for me. Because yeah, okay, sure, I was doing the vegan stuff, and I was, eating healthy, and I was doing the juices, and going all that. But when I was introduced to Purium and seeing the power shake effects, feeling like you guys say, feeling the live foods, the live enzymes, it's amazing. The aminos for me, that's like my number one product. That's mine, even though my biomatic obviously rocks. But for me, the aminos have been amazing. And I tell you from personal experience, and I tell you because when Mauricio thrived the most, he was under Purium as well. When since I was taking care of him nonstop and I was overseeing his care 100%, I introduced him to Purium, and I pretty much changed his diet. So in the hospital, they wouldn't even bug me. I would crush the aminos. I would put him through the tube because Mauricio was a quadriplegic, and he had a trach, and he had a feeding tube. So I had to feed him, and I would feed him with everything I had going on. I had bought me the juice bar in the bag. I had bought me the whole pack, and I had the amino. So I was giving him everything. And besides that, I had gotten everything else: the rice bran solubles, the spirulina, the chlorella, American ginseng. I had the whole works. I look like a freaking what is it? Like a little pharmacy, a holistic pharmacy. Because everybody would make fun of me. The juice
mixologist.
lady. Yeah. The juice lady, they will call me at the hospital. And all the nurses will have the juices. They will love it. But Mao, his muscle, how do you call it, the to be able to maintain the tissue and not to destroy so much, he did so well with Purium, and he was thriving with Purium. Unfortunately last year he passed away in August, and he passed away, I would say, indirectly because of COVID as well. He didn't have COVID, but not being able to take care of him, he was in the hospital, and not being able to take care of him really limit my obviously my direct supervision, and he stopped using Purium. And he only lasted 6 months with only the hospital nutrition and care. But Purium gave me a sense of orientation with nutrition and a lifestyle. I changed my lifestyle and I became a better person all throughout. And my healing was definitely inside out. I was 230 pounds. Shari had asked earlier. I was 230 pounds when I started this, and I went down to 170 pounds.
Would you translate
And
that
the
into
transformation
sizes?
has been amazing. I was size 20 in pants, and I went down to size 8.
Yes, and let me just
So
add,
going extra large or 1X to medium on the top, small, medium, depending on what it is that I was wearing.
I just have
And
to add,
after all of this that has happened, that, you know, I have gained some back, and, you know, I have grieving. The grieving part has been very tough, even though I thought I was going to be more ready, more prepared. Saw it coming type of thing. You never see these things coming. And when they hit you, it's very hard. So with all of that, I developed panic attacks and all that stuff. So it's been very hard for me. And actually, I'm waiting for I did a very big order with Purium, and I'm waiting for it in the mail right now as we speak. And I'm going to start my ULT as soon as I get it, because I need
and
to reset. I need to
and I have
reset, and I
no
need to get
doubt,
back.
I have no doubt, Jackie, that you're going to reset, because I want everyone to know Jackie's before and after pictures were so impressive. We blew up a huge poster.
Yeah.
And when she worked the shows with us, she was kind of like the rock star of the booth, because everyone would gravitate to her photos. And then they said, is this the actual person
Yeah,
that lost
they were
all
like,
this
"Oh,
weight?"
hey, this is not Photoshop.
And
Look
we're
at her,
like,
she's
yes,
here."
it is. So they didn't want to talk to anyone at the booth except her, because here she was, you know, live, real time. And they just said, how in the world did you do this? So
Yeah,
never minimize what you do for yourself. It essentially has a ripple effect, and it will affect other people's lives. And all of you have experienced an angel that came across your path and introduced you to Purium, and now you're the
definitely.
angel sharing it with others. And Jackie, I want to thank you so much for being on the call. I
No
miss you. I
problem.
have no doubt that you'll reach all of your goals. I also am starting another cleanse on Monday. We all enjoyed ourselves during the holidays, or we ate a little too much during COVID. But the beautiful thing about transforming is you can always transform. We're going to transform till the
Mhm.
day we pass on and leave this life. So no matter where you're at today, reach that, you know, brought you this call or got you started on the process. Maybe you're like in a valley right now and you're going to reset like Jackie, or you're going to continue on like Shiva. I just think everyone's story is so powerful. And I thank all of you for bringing your heart and energy to us today. I don't want to go. I don't want to go back into my job, but you know, there's probably someone I have to touch. And but I love what Shiva said too. You know, ask yourself, what are you going to change this year? What is going to be different? So if you walk away from this call, get out a paper and pen, write down what you want to accomplish this month, write down what you want to accomplish by the end of the year. And oh my God, put down that forbidden goal. Forbidden goal, what do you mean, Shari? That goal you're afraid to put down. It could be surfing like Shiva. It could be buying a 2-piece bikini like, you know, me and Jackie talked about. That forbidden goal that you've been avoiding, you're actually afraid to put on paper. Just put it on paper. So write down your goals today, place your Purium orders, reconnect with your team, and just know that, you know, the slate is clean. This is a new year, and you can take it by storm. You can manifest what you want in your life, but you have to love yourself. Like Beau said, he loved himself enough to give feed himself something good and nutritious every morning. And Marcelo and I talked before the call, and he was telling me, I said, Marcelo, to get through what you got through, you have to just be a specialist in gratitude. And he's like, Shari, my eyes have been so enlightened. He's high from gratitude, okay? Marcelo lives on such a high plane of gratitude. I got a wave of him being so high on gratitude. So I have so many takeaways from this call. Thank you, everyone else that I can't see that joined. Like I said, place your Purium order, jump on our group transformation, tell your neighbor, tell your family, let's all do it together because we are powerful in numbers. Okay, so bless all of you. Give yourself a clap. Woo! Mwah! And, thank you to Michael and Lucy who, are steadfast. They're in the game. They always show up every single Saturday for this team. They're here, rain or shine. I just, had the blessing opportunity to talk to you all today. So thank you, Michael and Lucy. And, here's to a successful, healthy 2021, right? Who wants 2021 to serve them? Let me hear a shout out. Take yourself off mute. Woo! Woo!